Hello, everyone. Hi, friends. Hello, Comedy Jonah.
Hello! Happy episode 3.
Happy episode 3 for the POV. We can't wait to talk about it with ye.
Me.
With the me.
With
We are here. We are having so much fun. And we are so excited to be talking Big Brother episode 3 with all of you. Now, of course, as you guys know, if you are watching this, wherever you're watching it, if you are new, make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe. It's the best way to help support our shows. So make sure you do that wherever you're watching. This one, we're streaming to all the places: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, your mom's house, all the places. MySpace. It's going to all of the places this time. So make sure that you guys follow, like, and subscribe. Of course, share the show. Let people know that we are live wherever you are watching from. Share it. Your thumbs up, your squares. Tell a Facebook friend if you're watching on Facebook. And of course, I can see all of the chats. You can go ahead and leave your questions in the chats, or you can tweet them to us. John can't see any. I got the chats, John. You got the show. I got the chats.
Good.
And I'm gonna be angry.
Angry?
I'm gonna be angry on this show.
No. What's there to be angry about? It's the first veto comp of the season.
Where are we starting?
From the beginning, like we always do. Yeah. So, it cuts to Kai and Alyssa. They're shocked about being nominations. Everyone's shocked. Big D is shocked. He's, felt he was really close with Frenchie, French Fry. The Kings talk about things going on. Talking about Frenchie playing too hard this week. Nobody knew. Nobody knew what was going on. We were shocked. Everybody in the house was shocked.
You know who else I feel like didn't know what was going on? Frenchie. He was in the GR live, and was he drunk? Because he is like, I don't know what I do it with the way, but it should be. What?
Well, we know that we know he likes to shoot beers. We don't know if he shot beers before. I mean, it's only been a few days, and are they allowed to have alcohol yet? I don't know, but yeah, it was This is the kind of the beginnings, of someone on meth.
It was definitely the beginning of someone's on meth. Now, do you have experience with that? How would you know?
I've seen so many shows on not to do it. So
on documentaries, you mean?
Absolutely. On Netflix. I binged it during the pandemic. Yes.
Brilliant. No, I thought he was funny. I see Sparkly Eye in chat says, I never want to hear the word doggone again.
Oh my gosh.
He's the worst. I mean, him this week, and I mean, not to jump ahead to the end, but we know that he's like, I think I did great. I think this week's a success. I think you need to look up the word success.
I got a bigger fish this week than I ever thought I reckon I would. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You didn't get any fish. There's no fish. You've gotten none of the fish. All of the fish are still in the pond.
There's not even ponds in LA. No, there's nothing. It's all dried up.
Do you want to say how, I made fun of Frenchie being drunk, and I've now realized that I probably have buttoned my shirt incorrectly.
I was wondering what was happening here, but I didn't want to point it out because that's what a good co-host doesn't do.
Go ahead and not drunkenly make fun of myself. Okay, that's why. Okay, there we go. So much better.
Yeah, so we see Alyssa I like her. She confronts Frenchie, says, what's going on with the showmans? It's only been 3 days. Christian comes over. Everyone, they're trying to figure it out. He's just like, well, I saw you talk to her a couple times, and I reckon that you guys were in love. I don't know how it works where he lives, but I think it takes a little longer than
Well,
3 days, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, you married the cow or something, I don't know. My favorite was when Alyssa was like, "What does he think? Like, we're on day 2 and I'm just spreading my legs for Christian." Although, as
Yeah.
you said in the last show,
Well,
yes,
yeah.
you do.
If you were
do.
Alyssa, yeah, you would.
Yeah,
You
you
would
do.
have been out and nominated because you would have actually been in a showman's and proved Frenchie correctly.
First of all, I object to that. We are in a showmance. We are in love, whether he knows it or not.
Right, but and am I to nominate you then because I'm out of the house with you on this space?
Yes, you can nominate. I will allow it. I will allow you
You're
to. I will
nominated.
allow you to nominate, renominate, or all of the nominations for
Yeah.
these people.
So Frenchie really kind of quickly it sinks into his brain that you know what, he's probably kind of made a mistake. I think another thing that we kept getting reminded of this episode is as soon as he won and he's running around, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. Check under your seat, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. All the boys are safe, all the girls. Yeah, he just everything you shouldn't do. Like this should be a week 101 course on what not to do your first week in the Big Brother house, right? I mean, that's what's happening here.
And the edit didn't even touch upon the chaos that was actually happening in those first 3 days. Basically,
Right.
every single person ended up nominated or in threat of being nominated by him in one way or another. And then all it took to get out of that was just to have a conversation with them. If you just had a conversation with Frenchie and said something like, I'm stickier than molasses going up a hill, Frenchie, then he would be like, you're safe, I understand you. And then they're fine.
Well, that's what happens when you've been up a few days on that, wonder drug and you haven't had sleep. And all of a sudden it's like, you're tweaking out, you're hearing things, you're spying doors. And then all you have to do is have a quick conversation with the tweaker and everything's resolved. So
I feel like we're learning a lot about you this show.
A lot of the programming I've been watching.
Right, just the programming you've been watching. Yes. You're going to have advice about going into a program next for him?
I just have 12 things to say about that.
Never got my apology. Well, I'm ready for my amends.
Yeah, so he quickly, is off the Alyssa Christian romance train, realizes, yes, it's only been 3 days, maybe not 3 weeks. He even confirmed in that conversation that Kristen was the big fish he was talking about in his, nomination speech to Alyssa. So, that was all confirmed.
That was all confirmed. I also think that people who were watching this episode thought gotta give it to the editors because they almost kind of sort of made it make sense. Like the way you have Frenchie in the DR and he's like, well, now that I know they're not a couple, I gotta move on to somebody else. I see Derek in my sights. No, it didn't happen like that. That was not what happened. First of all, Brent was the target. Did they talk about that on the other episode? I forget if they talked about Brent originally being the target.
They talked about it in the last episode until he sat down and talked about,
Oh, right.
Death, suicide, and all that.
Yeah, and then we switched to, it being Christian. And then as we're going to see in this episode, it's going to switch over to be Derek. But
it did. The episode's over, so it did switch over.
It did, but my point is, he's acting like I'm prior military and I sit in corners and I spotted that slippery little Derek over there and I just knew he was up to things. No, you didn't. Brent doesn't like Derek, and you got whatever you got going on with Brent. Brent's the one that told you I don't trust Derek, and now all of a sudden you don't trust Derek because Brent doesn't trust Derek, and the whole thing's stupid.
Well, I think Derek and Brent kind of had that conversation. And kind of, they both had both of their names in each other's mouths. But at the end of the day, Brent and Derek X are on the same team. So when Frenchie was like, I need a bigger target, I'm going to go after skinny little petite Derek, who's a big physical threat. And, and even telling Brent, and Brent's just like, I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe someone like Travis is much better because has a bigger frame, seems a little more athletic than Derek X. And Brent's like, sure, whatever, and runs over and tells Derek X exactly what's happening. Because they're on the team. They have an alliance as well.
Everybody tells everything that happens with a French fry conversation. It doesn't matter, but Frenchie does too. Like we kind of saw a little bit of it in this episode when Alyssa and Christian went into the room and he's like, all right, you're the big fish. I'm going to hook you. Alyssa, you a casualty, girl. Like, he just tells them the whole plan.
You know who you sound like? Who is the little guy with the gray
Frenchie?
hair on Will and Grace? What's the actor's name?
Leslie Jones.
Leslie
Jordan.
Jordan. Leslie Jordan. You sound just like Leslie Jordan.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Welcome, y'all.
Well, that's what because I gotta make, whatever.
Yeah. So, moving on, we see, Sarah Beth, whom, by the way, I feel I've gotten all wrong. I'm actually...
Me too.
I've really started to really like Sarah Beth. I think she's super sweet. She's a little more strategic than I thought. Mm-hmm. Not just going to sit there, sewing outfits all day, Yes. So I'm loving her more. I love the conversation about, LGBT and French. She's sitting there trying to learn. Now, how many letters are in that? Trying to figure out. He's trying to spell LGBTQ.
L is for llamas, like on the farm. I think it stands for llamas and goats and transgenders and boys, right? That's the group you're in, right, Sarah Beth? I know it. I'm woke.
He's woke, yeah. Yeah, what? And so I thought that was a really touching moment talking about her girlfriend, Shelly. I even thought it was really interesting, because I know how you feel about the term bi, but, for Sarah Beth to talk about how it would just be easier to just date a guy, and then for her parents, it wouldn't be anything, but good for her for sticking with who she loves.
Like, don't get me wrong. First of all, I understand that you can be attracted to both sexes. So I understand being fluid, but I think where you land is what you are, if that makes sense.
Like a 60-40, right?
Yeah, like where you land is probably then what you're presenting to the world is what you're showing the world, and that's what you are. Like, I wouldn't be like out with my hubs and be like, well, I'm straight, but I'm married to this one. So, like, I don't, my brain does, but, more power to or for that. I also think I realize I'm a hypocrite. I totally think girls can be bi. I think guys cannot. I think if you are a guy and you are with other guys, you're gay. And if you're saying you're bi, you're in denial. I don't know why that is. It's some weird misogyny that I have built into
me. It's just, I think you need to get out. I think you've been in quarantine too long. You need to get some fresh air, because that makes no sense at all. Moving right along, Frenchie's looking for a new target. We talked about that.
which is everyone.
Which is everyone. Frenchie
Whole
calls out.
house.
Yeah, so Frenchie's outside. They're all kind of sitting on the hammock. Frenchie kind of calls out Derek X a little bit on the hammock. Yeah, we saw that.
I like when the Derek oh my god, Derek K L Derek K L. Why did I all of a sudden forget the other Derek's last name? The boxer guy.
I think you're still on LBGTQ.
I don't know why I'm sure, but I like when he was like
Big D.
Big D. No, I know Big D. F. Thank you. Oh my god, I couldn't remember. I like when he was like, America, if you don't get it, America, I don't think you're gonna get this. No shit, we don't get it. We're watching it on the live feeds, Derek. We don't get it. You think you don't get it? You don't know the level to which you don't get it.
Yeah. No, and I love the fan. I got to get a fan. I've got a fan somewhere. I got to get it for the next show. No, yeah, that was hilarious. None of us got it. Nobody did. Nobody on his team. He doesn't talk to anybody on his team. They're supposed to be in his alliance. Not Frenchie, I mean.
And I see people in chat asking, how would we handle that? How would we handle if we were one of his teammates? I mean, we saw Azah say it. He's doing all this stuff. He's not talking to us. You would step back.
Oh, you cannot. When the tweaker is going in circles, you cannot interrupt it. It might explode.
Can you splash water in his face? Can you just like a little diddle of water?
On the feet to kind of cool him off, not on the face. No. Because it could get in his eyes and it could burn from all the sweat from all the nights of not sleeping.
I am more shocked that his team is aware that he's not working with them, and they still seem pretty loyal to him.
Well, I think, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, the lead tweaker of the house is not, talking to us or anything, but we're not going to talk shit. Oh, yeah. It's so funny. We love him. Oh, my God, talk to me about gardening. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to make any waves. He's walking around with his, military skills and listening apparatus called ears, and really trying to figure out, who's saying what and who's lying to who. You stay back and go, yes, it's his house. It's Frenchie's fun house, and I'm here to play.
I'm military trained, okay? I can sit in a corner. I see what's going on. I'm always aware. When I go to a restaurant, I always sit facing the door.
Oh,
in case a burglar comes in.
You've got a little designing women. I'm going to call you Erica Sugarbaker with your accent. I think that's appropriate.
Okay. Well, I think what is not appropriate is Frenchie and anything he does.
Well, it was bad. It was a tough move. So, okay, so now we're in the kitchen and we see Big D and Azah and Tiffany talking, and we kind of see how the cookout, I believe, was formed.
Yeah.
I want to say that. I want to say formed. Xavier, a little late to the party, as always, but cute. You can be as late as you want. You're super cute, good to look at. Kind of comes up there and says, what are we talking about? And Tiffany's like, you know what we're talking about, okay? I think the cookout is the best name. They're talking about Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
Cookout, don't be late to the cookout. And I think it's just such an appropriate name, and I love it. And it just makes me just...
Hannah ended up being added to it after the fact, and I think Hannah and Xavier were the ones that were added after the fact, right?
It was Hannah. I think she's like the secret one, right?
She's like the secret one. Two of them.
She's the unofficial one. She's my notes.
And Kyland. I don't know what is wrong with me. I've been like forgetting about Kyland lately. Maybe because Okay. I mean, okay. I was going to say maybe because he cried after being nominated, but I understand why it was
Ah,
emotional for him. I understand. Believe me, I get it. I am not
I just
mocking that at
wanted to
all.
make him a big bowl of popcorn and go, come here, put your head on my bosom, have some popcorn.
But it's like it's week one. He's in there. Again, they don't show it in the edit, but he's up there with Frenchie. Like he I mean, I guess he didn't know, and the crying was right after he was nominated, and that was The Blind Side.
Everyone
So,
was shocked. No
yeah,
one could figure out these nominations. Frenchie tried to cover his butt, saying, oh, I hope you win the veto. Oh, yeah, because we're going to take this place down, or whatever. Tweaker talking. You don't know. You have to win it. You can't
yeah.
listen to the tweet. He's not going to remember 2 minutes later. You know what I mean? So, yeah, totally blindsided by the nomination. So was Alyssa. So, yeah, I get it. He's a little teary. It's shocking. He's a nice guy.
He's the most adorable human ever.
Oh
He's
my
way too good
God.
for this game. He does not belong in that
He,
house.
I think Maximus Mom on Twitter said we just do not deserve this sweet soul. And she's right. We don't. We don't deserve him. I love
You
him.
are you are so I don't know if people notice, but this is the show where we have now broadcast everywhere. We've stepped it up a notch. Next show John will not wear an olive green shirt. I just figured out what happened with your picture.
Oh, is that what's
Hmm,
happening?
that's what's happening. So it's called a green screen. No, here's the thing.
Oh.
On the next show, I will have all the sound effects ready, and if you mention Maximus Mom, you're going to get a big old gong. You're going to get a big old
Ooh.
beep. It's going to it's going to beep, block it out.
Mention who? Maximus Mom?
Well, next show, yeah, get ready.
Okay. How
We'll
many?
see.
It'll be like a Watch What Happens Live, where it's like you don't say this
We're,
word,
we're, we're,
or,
we're
or
nothing.
we'll take a shot every time we mention.
Which would really be like a tea time show. And what was our show called with you, me, and Jeffrey when we recapped Bravo TV for like a year, and then Bravo kicked us off YouTube and stole the concept and created Watch What Happens Live? Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I'm so glad you mentioned that show. Next.
So I thought it was so clever in that moment where Tiffany called herself the Grill Master.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Who are we loving, Tiffany, or what?
Tiffany is the queen of all things in this show. Every time I don't think that Tiffany can one up how much I'm going to love Tiffany, she does things like she did yesterday on the feeds, where she's literally talking to Big D and is like, we're not calling him Frenchie anymore. We now call him Fry. Like, she is so in tune with the feeds and what we are saying and doing out here in the real world. She's on the pulse.
She is so on the pulse.
She got
the cookout. She got the cookout formed. She's the grill master. She's great to listen to on the feeds. Oh, I absolutely. Her name she comes up with. I see her in different groups, and she adapts socially so good. I mean, Tiffany is, she's good. Okay, watch out for her.
Oh, I see Dancing Amy's in chat, and she says Tiffany is my favorite to watch on the feeds. Of course, she's your favorite. I honestly, so my pick to win. I don't even remember who my pick to win is, but I'm pretty sure it was Tiffany, or I feel like you chose Tiffany, so I wasn't allowed. But in reality, Tiffany. I think she is so set up to win this game.
Oh, she knows life. And plus, what makes Tiffany great on the feeds is that you can relate to her and understand the things she's saying and her strategy, or when she's not strategizing and just being social. She's not walking around the house listening, I mean, I am so curious how Frenchie is going to be acting once he's not HOH anymore and it's not Frenchie's Funhouse anymore. Now what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I think this is something that we're all super excited to see the way
Yeah.
that, this is going to play out with him this week. And, I know on this show, I mean, we talk about it all. I don't think anybody is here that doesn't want spoilers, and it's Big Brother. It's all happening in real time. I don't feel any of it is spoilers. So, doo breaking news of earlier today. Speaking of our Tiffany and her being set up so great for this game, they all formed the King Slayers, herself, Brittany, Claire, and Azah. So now they're going after the boys and the Kings.
No, and I mean, there was kind of this girl alliance for a while, but there was no name for it, right? So now it's kind of the King Slayers, right? Is that right?
So yes, somebody that you guys should 1000% follow on Twitter. If you are not, of course you should follow our live feed updaters at BB Live Updaters, but someone else great to follow too is 89 Razor Skate 20, because John, he does great things like simplify the alliances. So if any of you are confused about the alliances, he does stuff like tweet handy dandy flowcharts like this.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So just in case you're like, I'm kind of confused who is going with where and what's the alliance and with where and when and what and why, he kind of puts it all together and updates it basically daily for you. But yeah, I put this up for us, and you guys should follow him. But I thought, if we get confused on an alliance, I'll just whip out my easy handy dandy alliance sheet.
Yeah, no, it's super easy to follow. Good job.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, Derek now being the target, right?
Derek saying, I've got to win this. I got to win the veto so I don't get backdoored.
Exactly. And I see Maximus' mom, Devil, does bring up a good point. There are 3 women alliances. Yes, the King Slayers, but there's also the Sirens and the Jackpot. I don't care. The only ones I care about are ones that involve Tiffany.
Right. Me too.
Now, I mean, let's talk about the POV, and then I have to talk about the entire thing that they left out of the show, because I'm interested to get your take on it. But POV picks, did we care? I mean, it definitely...
Frenchie picks Tiffany. Kai gets house guest choice and picks Travis. That's who he wanted, so he got Travis. And Alyssa picked Derek X. What are the odds? Derek X threatened to be backdoored this episode, gets to play.
And again, Travis being the other target of Frenchie, like, if we didn't know, I feel like I said this on the other show, if we didn't know from the Big Brother people that we know that they have dumped these chips out to check the legitimacy of this,
I know.
It is so insane to me that all the people he was going to go after are all the people playing in the POV. And Frenchie in his brain was just like, the goddamn Twitter gods. I'm more pricked than a cactus in a snowstorm.
To see him flip out. Dang, damn it. There goes my game. It is the funniest. Now it's funny. Now I like it. You get to the point where you understand the tweaker, and you get to the point where it's like, okay, I now get it, and I can go along and laugh with it. So it's fun.
No, I'm laughing at him. Let's be clear. I'm not laughing with him.
Oh, I'm just laughing.
Now, what did you think of the POV comp for tonight? Because I had my internet go down during it.
So I was glad that we were not at a casino anymore, first of all. And I
Okay.
love, we got to see the BB Swim Up Bar. It was called that. It was called Massive Cocktails. It seemed to have lots of names. But I thought this was an interesting comp as far as positioning all of the little fruits and stuff in your cocktail to make that cherry swimmingly through
So
your
yeah,
cocktail,
what
into the cup.
what's the point? So they're putting something at the top and it has to go to the bottom correctly?
It has to go to the bottom. It had to hit three different points, and you had to use your little fruits and stuff
Okay.
to make sure it hit certain things before it went into the cup at the
Oh,
bottom.
okay. All right. So now I there was a part where I was having audio, but I wasn't having video. There was something about people saying like we started from the top, or were people copying off of each other? What was that about?
So let me provide you with clarification.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
So let me
ready.
get going. So everybody was starting from the top and trying to get the straw there at a certain point, trying to
Okay.
navigate their sliced orange at the top. Everybody started there. Derek X started from the bottom. So as he was figuring out how to strategically put his half slice of watermelon, half an apple, then he's like, I'm going to start at the bottom and then I'm going to copy everyone's top because it's all going to look very similar to get this strategically placed so that he can drop his cherry into the cup and it can go down the cocktail into the cup. So I thought that was really smart.
So Derek's a bottom.
Derek likes to start at the bottom. He may not remain a bottom. He eventually
He's
gets to the top,
first.
even if he has to look over to the side and copy, but he eventually gets to the top. And
I
that's a
mean,
good thing.
we weren't clear. It's none of our business, but I believe in that premiere episode, we were not clear what team he plays for. And now, apparently, my mission this season is to make every single person admit who they're attracted to.
Especially if they're a guy, they're gay. So
Right.
yeah, so I mean, a lot of us start out at the top, the face, all that. He likes to start from the bottom and work up, and I think it's a good strategy even in life.
I mean, it worked for him. It definitely worked for Derek because boom, 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 POV a winner. And I like
Yay!
him to go from ridiculously being targeted by Brent for no fucking reason to then becoming Frenchie's target to now just having safety in the game.
Well,
I like Derek.
remember even in the premiere episode, like you were talking about, like, oh gosh, he's too soft, his gameplay's weird. And I said, listen, he needs to get adjusted to the house and to the people. And I think we're going to see some good things. And now we're seeing some good things.
I mean, I don't know that we're really well. We're going to talk about it, but
it's
yeah,
episode 3 for God's sakes. Some
well,
good
I mean,
I'm not saying episode 30, and it's just like, oh God, he was strategically put that
well,
through to get at the bottom.
Here's where I want chat to weigh in, and I want to know what you think about
Okay.
it. So we saw the entire thing with Frenchie, which this is the perfect example of what I can't stand about Frenchie, because he's like, Derek, it's your POV. I would never tell you what to do with it. It is your life. You go ahead. I'm here for you, bro. And then literally the next sentence is, I want you. And then he'll start talking. Derek will be like, well, I want you to use it. You just told him to do what he wanted. And the next sentence, you're yelling at him, cutting him off, telling him, I want it used.
Well, listen, first of all, I was so glad to see Derek X even go into the HOH room. It wasn't like French Fry sought him out. You know what I mean? He's just sitting in there, tweaking and just like, what am I going to do? He's been up for 5 days. And so Derek went in there strategically and went like, you know what? I just want you to know I've got no hard feelings. Like, this is what it is. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the veto or not. well, you need to do what's good for your game. Oh, you know what? That's really great that you say that. And just he doesn't even finish saying that word. Like, you should use them. You should use them.
If you don't use the veto, the whole house gonna come after you with pitchforks and go light you on fire like a pickup truck in a sandstorm.
Now you're selling Todd Christie on Christie Knows Best.
It's my rotating Southern accent. I'll rotate it. I'm hitting all your favorites.
I think they're rotating some, all right. Yeah. So you do what you want for your game, you do that, but you gotta use it, okay? So that was messy. I mean, now we're just used to messy with Frenchie. So, yeah,
and I mean,
yeah.
Now, here's what they didn't show in the edit, because, Derek kind of walked out of there. Nothing was really solidified. Then it becomes now the night before the POV ceremony. And if you want to talk a full tweaking, cracked out Frenchie, he's waiting till like 3 a.m. He's calling everyone up in that room like, we are making a decision right now. But here's what annoyed me. He went to Derek and was like,
Derek,
you know what? Derek X. And he's like, I don't want you to use it. I don't want you to use it. Then he goes to Travis and he's like, I don't know if you gotta convince Derek not to use it, because if he uses it, you're going up. So you better convince him not to use it. You two should talk. So then them two are talking and they're both terrified because for some fucking reason, all these people are terrified of fucking Frenchie. So Derek is like, I don't know. Why would he tell me not to use it, but he's telling you to tell me to use it? Oh my God, what are we going to do? He's testing us. Hello, morons. You have the power. Just because Frenchie tells you to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. What do you want, John?
Listen, Frenchie has got that tweaker psychology fog on all of them. I mean, I honestly think they're a little traumatized. I think they're going to have a little PSD after Frenchie's HOH. And I think they're just living in this week like it's Frenchie's house. And I think once Frenchie's not HOH anymore, the fog is going to clear and they're going to be like, oh my God, I can think for myself. I'm not scared. I'm not scared anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost going to feel like a rescue because, yeah. He has got them so, it's bad enough being, I think, so new in the house. And then people are talking, you're a little paranoid. And then you got that tweaker running around at all hours of the night, saying shit, getting you paranoid even more, freaking you out, not letting you sleep. You're up at 3.
What? This is what makes no sense to me. So he finally calls them all into the HOH room. Travis is there. Derek is there. Xavier's there. Big D's there. So many people are there. And he's like, y'all got to make a decision. What are you going to do? And then Kyland. So then Frenchie is like, well, Kyland, hypothetically, if, you're safe. And Kyland is just like, yeah, well, you said I was safe at Noms. Big mistake. Big mistake. If Frenchie dives into a beratement of Kyland that literally lasts over an hour and a half of literally these people groveling to Frenchie. It was disgusting to watch. And by the way, all Kyland said was, well, I wasn't nominated for, like you said, I was safe when you nominated me. Frenchie turned that into, Colin popped off at me and he's so aggressive. He's the most aggressive popper offer and I don't have to take that. And then there's fucking Brent, who's like fucking Frenchie's fucking fluffer, who's like, I'm just sitting here to make sure that you respect Frenchie, Kylan. Fuck you, Brett. Go fuck yourself and fuck yourself off a fucking cliff. You fucking fuck. I hate him. So it was the most racist bullshit where basically Frenchie just stood there, held court, and made the black people apologize to him for popping off and offending me so aggressively. And they did it, and I get why you have to do it, but the fact that these people go on What?
You have, listen, what did I say early on? You cannot say anything against the tweaker. This is what happens. The slightest thing can just set the tweaker off, right? Now you have to do anything to put the genie, the tweaker, back into the bottle, back into the meth pipe. How do we get him back in? How do we do it? So calm him down. We don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. So they had to do everything that they could. But this was a perfect example of why, like, Ozzy didn't say anything. He's on my team. He didn't even ask me about nominations or anything. I'm just going to stay back. Yeah, that's what you do. This is why you do that.
Rod Carson in chat says, is there a chance he has mad cow disease? Yes! There's a chance he has mad cow disease. I just, I retweeted it. If you want to watch the thread, and I mean, trigger warning to all the trigger warnings. It is microaggressions, as Ebony K. Williams will say over on Real Housewives of New York. It's macroaggressions. It's all the aggressions towards the people of color from Frenchie in this meeting, but you can kind of watch all of those videos in order. But I mean, the resolution is Frenchie's like, okay, well, if it gets used, you're going up, Travis. And Travis is just like, okay, and leaves the room. He's fine with it.
Well, listen, I mean, I'm fine with it, to be honest with you. Every time I'm first of all, for me, I'm really shocked how quickly I've gotten their names. Like, I don't have the CBS site up anymore. I know their names. I'm starting to know their nicknames, like Big D, who I'm absolutely loving. So, the only one I have to really think about is Travis. I just like, who is that? Are they talking about this season? So am I that upset about Travis? No. As far as being nominated. Now we see the POV ceremony. We see Derek X, save Kai, and Kai's just laying there on Tiffany, and he's just a sweet, sweet little soul. I think he was probably like a pug in another life, because he's just the sweetest little thing.
Okay.
And then
now wait a minute. Are you talking, because you just jumped? Are you talking about at the POV ceremony when he uses it? Yeah, I'm glad. I took that screenshot. I don't know what this is, Kyland, who I love, but I thought this was very disrespectful to the POV ceremony. This was very I don't care.
If you were Tiffany and that was Christian, you would be like, what do you mean disrespect? That doesn't make sense.
I would be rubbing his nipples also, as Tiffany is doing.
Yeah, I would have both my legs around his waist too. I wouldn't not let him go. Go ahead.
It blows my mind how easily and willingly Travis just accepted defeat. Travis was just, okay, I'll go there. The big stupid smile on his face when, like I said, that night when they were all trying to figure it out, eventually Derek, said, I would just like to talk to Frenchie alone. And, Travis like, okay, I'll leave. You're leaving a room that people are deciding your fate in the game. And I get it. I'm really not here to campaign that hard for Old Face. He's a recruit. He doesn't understand the game. I am thrilled if a recruit goes over someone that knows it. But my God.
He's not in a lot of alliances. I don't see him talking that much. I know he's got one with Derek X. I see Derek X talk to Christian on the feeds more than I've seen him talk to Travis. So I just don't really know where Travis stands in anything really besides being a queen. You know what I mean? So again, I constantly have to think, who's Travis again? So to me, it wouldn't be that big a deal. And I don't think it would be that much blood on Frenchie's hand, maybe only because he promised him safety and now has put him up. He promised everyone safety. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, here's what I'm going to want to say. I mean, I could go well more into this topic, but I will tell all of you, That's what we do on the live feed update shows, which are kicking off this Friday. So not tomorrow, but the next day will be our first live feed update show. So if you want videos and to really get in depth on, all the minutia of what you missed on the feeds, I will be doing that with you starting this Friday. We're done. We're ready. We're ready to. I'm sad that I was behind and not prepared for this first week, but I am ready now, and so mad I missed that whole entire. Basically, if you just want to watch me yelling about stuff for an hour, live feed update show, you'll love it. But yes, Travis go home. Now, I will say this. Thanks to our live feed updaters over on Twitter, there is boop-a-doop-a-doop breaking news. Travis actually realized a few minutes, or I think during the episode, while the episode was airing in real time in the house, Travis realized, gee, I'm playing a game for $750,000. Maybe I just shouldn't roll over and die. So he went and had a little convo with Frenchie, and now maybe the tide might be turning. As I said, and I haven't seen this conversation. We're here with all of you. However, that is all you have to do. Just go talk to Frenchie for 2 seconds, use some Frenchie-isms, and he's on your side fighting for you.
Right, but then it's just Frenchie, right? I mean, okay, Brent, you got
Well, no,
Brent,
the house is scared of him.
so they're all on his side at this point.
I actually think you're going to win the bet. I have switched from I think Frenchie's going before jury to the way I hear these people talk about him privately. I actually think he's going to make it to jury.
Oh my God. See, the things I'm hearing when I'm watching the feeds is that they're just saying it just because they don't know if he's behind the door. Or
I'm hoping that you're right.
So I'm like going, oh gosh. And then watching the episode, I'm like, okay, I probably have to go buy some new makeup because it's been a while since I've been drag. I probably have to brush out my wig. That's in storage. Okay.
Now,
but I mean, I honestly think that, especially even now that it's done, there's no more power of veto. It's just the vote. I mean, I think people are going to tell Frenchie what they want him to hear, but I do think nobody trusts him. He's screwed his whole full week up. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
I am hoping that they're just afraid that he has some magic power, and once the new person is in place, he's going to do something about it. Now, Destinies has a question from Chad who says, Frenchie asked Tiffany to throw a rogue vote, and Tiffany is going to do it. Do we think this is good or bad for Tiffany?
A rogue vote against who?
Just a rogue vote. So if the whole house has decided that they're voting out Travis tomorrow, she's going to vote for Alyssa. If they all decide they're voting out Alyssa, she's going to vote for, so she's going to do the opposite of what the house does.
It's a bad move.
Why?
Because this early in the game, you vote with the house. You don't want to stand out.
Okay, so the act of Frenchie is aware that she's throwing the rogue vote is what's bad, or actually doing the vote is bad? Here's my point, and I have argued with Nicole about this on this show before. I would rogue vote the shit out of it. Every single week, if it did not matter to me, and if there was a way for me to know, now obviously we don't know when we're in the game, but if I was delusional enough to feel safe and that my vote did not have an impact on what was going to happen, 1000%, I would throw a rogue vote to create chaos in the house. When there is chaos happening around you, it is easy for you to slide through the week and avoid it. Now, the problem here is Frenchie is aware. Tiffany, who I love and can do no wrong, why are you telling Frenchie anything you're doing? No. Don't do that. He'll use it against you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like that, Tiffany. Why are we confiding things like a rogue vote in Frenchie? Because he'll take that shit and be like, you can't trust Tiffany. She's like a ketchup jar and you can't get the bottle off and you think you're going to get the bottle off and you smash it and then the ketchup's all over your food. You think it's a reliable vote, but it's not. You just end up with a messy burger.
Listen, he'll call a house meeting at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, everybody, get up. I gotta talk. Tiffany, did you not throw that rogue vote like you said you would? Tiffany, tell the whole house.
Yeah, and then Tiffany is all of a sudden no. Oh
I
my
think
God.
whatever she tells that she's going to do, she should do. But do I just think she should, in period, just kind of go with it and just blend in a little bit? You want to blend in a little bit the first week, but this has been a crazy first week. So I don't know. Can we still call it a first week? It feels more like a third, fourth week.
I mean, here's the thing. If she's just doing it because you don't want to piss off the HOH, so if she's just like, yes, Frenchie, of course I'll do it, fine. But then she better make sure that she goes to every other person in that house and says, Frenchie wants me to throw rogue vote. I have to, so that he cannot use that as a bullet against her later, because that is what he will do. I do not know why we're confiding in Frenchie.
I don't either. But if I was Tiffany, I'd get Sarah Beth and be like, girl, you throw a rogue vote.
How would you avoid it? So if I was Frenchie and I was like, John, I need you to throw a rogue vote. It don't make no sense, but just do it, all right?
Okay.
Really?
Hey, Sarah Beth, come here for a second. I gotta talk to you. You should throw a rogue vote. And then when it comes out, I'd be like, see, I did it.
Okay. I would be like, no, thank you.
You don't go against the tweaker right now when they're in power.
Nah, I'd be like, I'll think about it. I'll be like, I'll think about it.
No. You don't think about it with a tweaker. No. It's yes.
All right. Then
and then you figure out another way to get a rogue vote toss that doesn't have your name on it. So when it eventually comes out, to be like, see, everybody, I'm Tiffany, and I voted with the house.
I'll be like this. You're exhausting, Frenchie.
No. You can't talk like that to a tweaker. No. They've been up too long.
Then how do you deal with him? Do you just do I just go to the bathroom and get some powder and throw it in a corner
you
and
look
hope he
great
goes to
right
it?
now. Do you need a hug? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'll throw a rogue vote. Give me a hug.
Oh, okay. So that's what I do. I offer him a hug. I tell him
they don't want you to touch them because they got all that stuff happening in their skin. So no, but you just calm them down. It's like talking soft to a dog, a rapid
porcupine dog. In a blizzard.
A rapid dog. It's like Cujo.
Just a rabid soft. Dog at your neighbor's house.
I'm gonna throw that rogue vote. I'm gonna do it. You got it. That is the smartest move. You're good. You are good. I'm so glad I'm aligned with you. Is that all? Is that all you need from me? Okay.
Okay.
Mary
so
Beth, can you come here for a second?
So not what
Mary Beth.
So not what Rachel Ann is saying in chat of say to him, you're not in power anymore, so no, and I'll see you on the block next week.
It's true, but you know what? Like you've been saying, Curto, people are still talking like Frenchie has this power. Until he's officially dethroned and we are out of Frenchie's Funhouse, we don't know. We need to see how people are going to settle. So at this particular moment, we need to be like, yes, you're great. Yes, you're handsome. Great move. Tweaker. Frenchie.
So in conclusion, what John is saying, and not me, is that Frenchie is taking his Adderall, grinding it up, and snorting it in the bathroom.
Yes.
All right. Well, he would probably be the 37th Big Brother house guest to do that.
Snorting something.
Okay, we have a few questions from a chat, John. The most common one being, who do we want to win the HOH tomorrow?
Who would be a? I'm picking someone who I think will absolutely, completely turn everything around. Like
Okay.
like a reset. So I don't want like a Christian or an Alyssa because she's staying. Travis is going home. You know, I don't even know if I want a Big D. I think I want like a Sarah Beth or a Claire to win, or even a Brittany. I want it to be completely different. I think if it's spun a different way, we're going to see where things fall with who's loyal to Frenchie. And then as the week progresses, we can see, you know what, if we got enough votes, let's get him out of here.
It sounded like you started by saying not Christian.
Not
And then
Christian.
your whole picture and audio went off the stream, so they didn't
Oh,
really hear
is that
anything.
what it's going to be in the show that you're
So,
editing?
so nobody heard anything after that. Um, I agree with you. We need the pendulum to go in the opposite direction. We need someone going after Frenchie. And here's the thing. Frenchie annoys the living shit out of me. However,
I love him.
I do not want him to go. We need him to have feeds. And I want to be able to keep talking like this more.
I'm so excited to meet him next year at the Big Brother party. So I hope he goes.
I'm going to ride my tractor into the big city.
Just jump on a railroad car and come to the big city like a hobo.
Why is he so angry about showmances in the house if he's married?
Because they go too far. They make it too far up the chain. And they have their better odds to win. When he is married, he's going to be alone.
Okay. All right. Who do I want to win? I'll take a Tiffany.
No. I'll take an
David
Aza.
David Azza will not go after him though.
No,
Azza
that's
is
true. That's true. But Tiffany won't either.
I know. David
Or
Thielen says, "Why do you need to sound like him? You already look like him."
Oh, David. That's my guy.
Tiffany doesn't need the blood on her hands.
What about an Xavier? What about Xavier?
I mean, he's unfortunately in Slaughterhouse. Now there's also Frenchie's Slaughterhouse. I mean, Frenchie,
Oh, that's
if
right.
people honor the alliances built in around Frenchie, Frenchie does have protection really no matter what happens.
Yeah, but people also see that he doesn't keep his word. He hasn't kept his word twice.
And
with
they don't care.
And with Travis. And they think
that
then they can have a 5-minute conversation and it switches the tweaker's mind to a different direction and then it goes off into a different path. But I mean, can that work for you as a vote in the future, or is that could wreck your game? I say no. We need a Claire. We need a Mary Beth. We need a Brittany to revamp the HOH and put some sense back into this house.
And that's a good point, too. I keep forgetting about the stupid ass team twist. So if anyone on Team Frenchie wins, they can't nominate him anyway. That whole team is safe.
Right. So no jokers. Oh, then scratch Brittany. No jokers. I want a Claire. I want to Mary Beth.
And Frenchie, Frenchie has his eye on Claire a little bit today. A little bit today. He has his eye on Claire, which is, not great for Claire. But again, she's in the Kingslayers.
Right. What? But I mean, also too, who cares? He has no power anymore. It's done. The week's done.
Yeah. I don't know who I want to win. I just want the power to switch and I want good feeds. We started the first 3 days, the feeds were drama, chaos. Frenchie was off the rails. Then for like the last 2 days, I mean, when the feeds are on and they're not, being cut off every 5 seconds,
God, like
it's
today.
it's been that way for yesterday too, but it's just been like toga parties. Who cares? Are we at the toga party part of the season already? I don't want to be at the toga party. I don't want a fashion show. Fight. We want to watch a fight.
I don't want to see your talk show. I don't want to see anything.
Don't want to see your stupid talk shows. That's our job, right? Leave it to the professionals. Okay? Go play your stupid Who's the Murderer game. Oh, I can't. I can't.
Where's that candlestick? Who killed? Yeah. No.
Do we think, Annie wants to know, do we think that Frenchie is going to try and control the next HOH?
Depending on who it is. I mean, I think if it's anybody in the Jokers, yeah, all of a sudden it's going to be like, you didn't talk to us, and now all of a sudden we can't make a move without you. And if they still have their PTSD, yeah, it's going to possibly be like he has another HOH. But if we switch it all the way back over to the Kings, where we got a Sarah Beth, or I would say even a Christian, I could see things going a lot different and the house being completely switched, into a different direction, which I kind of want. You can only watch people be scared of a tweaker for so long. And then it's like, it starts to make you uncomfortable at home, and we want to be comfortable, right? We just got out of a pandemic. So we want to be comfortable. We don't want to watch scared, people, scared, mammals
Scaredy
on our screen. Yeah.
Scaredy
yeah.
Cats. Did anybody see Whitney explaining to Brittany what roadhead is?
What kind of show is this, Curto?
What's roadhead?
Really?
Roadhead?
Roadhead.
Roadhead.
You're driving on the road. Oh, I'm just gonna lean back a little bit.
And your head doesn't like clear the dashboard?
No, your husband's doesn't clear the dashboard.
Oh. It's a lot funnier when I would do that with the old co-host. I need you to be like, "Whoa, don't get it!" for 5 minutes. It's much funnier. You got to try that.
I'll look at some past episodes.
Try that next time. Try that next time. Act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I'll try watching the shows next time.
Think bus crash. I knew what it was, Red Carson. That's how I got my first car accident, Good old roadhead.
Really?
First day driving.
I've
crashed
never
into a bus.
Wow. I've never been on either end. I've never done it.
Probably because, as we've learned on this show, you're too busy playing with the nose candy. So, John, we have to wrap up this show, but I am super excited for tomorrow's show. We are going to have a new HOH. Tomorrow. And John, I think we might have a reality star guest tomorrow.
What?
I think we might have somebody joining us. I am talking to a few people, so I'm going to see which one is good. So I'm not going to say any names yet, but just know I think we will be joined by a guest tomorrow night to talk about the new week, new HOH, new reign of Big Brother, and then I'm sure we'll be doing an interview with whoever is evicted on Friday. And Friday will also kick off, like I said, our live feed update show, which I really hope you guys check out. You'll love it. It has all like the clips from the feeds, and it's funny and angry and mashup-y. And I hope that you guys will come and watch those too.
Love it, love it, love it. Super excited. Yay!
Yay, yay, yay. So final thoughts, John, is there anything left of this week that you have to say? Who are you hoping leaves? Is there anything else you want from this week of BB?
Well, the week's not over. because we got another show tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but it'll be over by tomorrow. So this is your last call for what you want to happen.
I can't say anything tomorrow. No.
Well, it'll have happened. So it's your last call now.
So I think Travis is leaving. I don't see Alyssa leaving. And I'm hoping it's a Maribeth or a Claire or someone in the Kings that's going to be an HOH. And I want to see how everything falls with the reign of Frenchie falling.
French falling. Got it. Well, you guys leave your comments below or tweet them at John and I and let us know what you guys are thinking. You weigh in. And again, like we always say, make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe wherever you are watching. You've made it to the end of the show. Maybe you think somebody would like this, one of your Facebook groups, a family member. Make sure you share these shows with them after the fact if you think any of them will enjoy them. And where should they follow you on social media, John?
Everywhere at Comedy Jonah.
Everywhere at Comedy Jonah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We hope that you enjoyed the show. We'll see you back here tomorrow night, right after the live eviction episode. And I am saying we're going to have a special guest with us. So we will see you guys then. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends.